has decided to revoke the detention of Ladakh activist and engineer Sonam Wangchuk. The decision comes nearly 6 months after he was taken into custody following violent protests in Leh. The Ministry of Home Affairs announced the move on Saturday. Officials said the detention has been revoked with immediate effect under provisions of the National Security Act. Wangchuk had been detained last year after unrest broke out in the Union Territory of Ladakh. The protests were linked to demands for statehood and constitutional safeguards under the 6th schedule. The government said the detention was originally ordered to maintain public order. Authorities had accused Wangchuk of influencing young protesters during a period of rising tension in the region. Violence during the demonstrations in Leh left at least 4 people dead and dozens injured. Security forces stepped in to control the situation. Soon after, Wangchuk was detained and later transferred to a jail in Jodhpur. But now, the center says the focus is shifting towards restoring normalcy in Ladakh. In its official statement, the government said it remains committed to peace, stability and mutual trust in the region. It also stressed the need for constructive dialogue with all stakeholders. According to the statement, prolonged bands and protests have hurt the daily life of people in Ladakh. Businesses, tourism operators, students and job aspirants have all been affected. Officials said the continuing disruptions have also harmed the fragile local economy. Wangchuk, known for his environmental work and education initiatives, has been a central figure in the Ladakh rights movement since 2023. His protests highlighted the impact of climate change on the region's delicate Himalayan ecosystem. Last year, he also held a 35-day fast demanding statehood for Ladakh and constitutional protection under the 6th schedule. The demand seeks greater local control over land, jobs and cultural identity in tribal regions. However, the peaceful campaign soon turned tense after large demonstrations escalated into violence. Wangchuk later called off his fast, saying the movement's peaceful message had been overshadowed. His detention triggered political reactions across the country. Several opposition leaders questioned the government's decision to invoke the National Security Act against a climate activist. The legal battle also reached the Supreme Court of India. Wangchuk's wife, educator Geetanjali Angmo, filed a petition challenging the detention. During the hearings, the Supreme Court raised questions about the evidence used to justify the detention order. The bench even flagged concerns over the translation of a short speech that reportedly formed part of the case against him.
So the whole detention order is based on some 10 or 11 videos and 5 FIRs. So 5 FIRs, of them 4 are on other people, not even on Sonam Wangchuk, who are alleged to be his supporters or whatever. But they are random people and he even doesn't know them. And the one FIR that is on his name is also about 2 months old and pertains to things in 24. And for that he wasn't even arrested. So the FIRs don't even make sense in this context, as basis for detaining somebody. And secondly, the 10 videos that have been given, some of them are 1.5 years old. And none of them are on that day before the incident happened. So there's no way to prove that any of his talks incited it. The videos that have been given, the ones before 24th September, are on September 10th and 11th. And the videos of 24th September that they have given are at 5 p.m. post the event. So none of these videos can be taken as the cause for the violence that erupted.
Now, with the detention revoked, attention will once again shift to the larger political and environmental debate surrounding Ladakh's future. The challenge for the government is clear. It must balance security concerns with democratic dialogue. At the same time, the voices from Ladakh are unlikely to fade away. For many residents of the high-altitude region, the demands for safeguards, development and ecological protection remain very much alive. And as India looks to stabilize the situation in Ladakh, the coming months may determine whether dialogue can finally replace confrontation in one of the country's most sensitive frontiers.